Hello, welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. I am working on our box for our pieces because this is no longer working for me. It's too full. So I wanted to get started with it. I have my wine box that I've cut, and I'm using the top of it versus the bottom because the sides are better for where the spout gets stuck out of the edge there. And I cut a flap off because there was too much bulk in the bottom. So this is not glued back together yet. I cut a flap off, and I have cut a small piece of this. I'm going to hot glue it in the bottom there, okay? And then that will stabilize, that will put a little bit of stability between those two flaps. And then I've cut another piece that I'm tinkering with now to be our bottom. And it's not exactly perfect, but it's okay because it is going to allow a flat surface for the bottom, and then like our tags will stick up out, you know, as we get to the back, they won't stick up so much, but in the front, it'll be like, oh, hey, what's this? Okay. And then also put it in the right direction. What is going to have to happen is somehow, and I don't have it worked out yet, we're going to need to add a pocket on the side to put our case file in, because width-wise, we don't have enough room to put our case file in there. Plus, we have a couple of extra bits that I haven't printed yet or done anything with yet that are the reference to how Rose and Jeffrey met, like the prelude to this whole thing. Okay, don't lose that. That's my granddaughter's birthday card stuff. I had to take a mental break from that. But yay, go me. I used my Cricut. So what I need to do is I have to go over and get my hot glue. And I want to make sure I'm happy with this before I do that. I don't necessarily like this big flap here, but it's going to be fine. In the end, it's going to be fine. I mean, it's a box. It has to have a joint somewhere. And then we'll figure this out as well on the side. It's making me question, though, if I shouldn't have cut this box just straight across, but Mark and I thought an angle would be really nice. So what I'm going to do is probably take my sanding block and go outside with this, even though it's way, way hot. But I really want to scuff this surface to ensure that whatever we embellish this with is going to stay. Yeah, it's going to stay and go from there. So that's kind of where I'm at in thought process right now. And then I'll come back probably throughout and tell you how it's getting built. I'm not going to do this whole box today, but I wanted to get it started because I am in a pickle because my little fabric bin is not going to take another tag. So anyway, yeah. And I think I'll just dig bits out of the recycle bin, like my gluey bits and stuff, because if the outside's got texture, I don't care. It's going to be fine. I'm going to add texture to it, but that will give us something to cover the whole box with. So, okay, that's the starting point. So I'm all sanded down, and I just have my matte Mod Podge that I'm going to pour in my little whatever this container is, and that's probably too much, but I'm going to add some water to it. I need fresh parchment on there. I'll do that when I'm done with this project. I have such a mess on my desk. This is probably really stupid to try to do this right now, but I have my little thing there, and I'm going to just add some water to that, just a little to thin it to make it easier to work with, and stir it up. It'll spread easier, right? And this is gonna have to be done in sections so that it can dry really well. And I'm thinking I'm starting in the wrong area because I need to line the inside of this too. So let's do this. I've got my inside here, and I'm just going to start gooping my Mod Podge in here. It's just going to be very hard for me to film, so bear with me. I'm not going to try to film all of this, but I'm just showing you. I'm getting a good coat of Mod Podge in there. And then what I'm going to do is take my book page, and I'm going to, and it's very humid right now, so this will be a really interesting experiment with the Mod Podge drying. So I'm going to take my book page, and I'm just going to come in and snip my corners. Hopefully that's going to be enough. And let's see if I can do this where you can see what I'm doing. Probably not. Bear with me. But I'm just going to lay that one flat on the bottom. Push it into that groove. See, I'm just pushing into that groove and pushing into my corners just to get it in there. And one layer is not going to do the trick. That's for sure. And see, that's not even enough to go over that top, which I wanted it to wrap over. So it'll be okay. It's going to be fine. It's always like shoulda, woulda, coulda when I do these. Like I transformed a green bean box one year for a Christmas present and made it like one of the decorative boxes that you get like at the store, and it ended up being really cool. But that was a big learning curve too, and I hadn't done one before. Oops, I just flicked glue. And I was going to not gift it, but Mark was like, you have so much time in that, you need to gift it. So the recipient said she liked it. I hope she did. Because it was a lot of work, but anyway. So, and this is a mess. I should actually be wearing gloves, but I'm not. I am not. Sometimes it's really good for me just to get gooey and messy. So this is just what I'm going to do all over this box, inside and outside, to make sure we've got some good adherence and good coverage. And if it's not perfect, I'm going to get wrinkles because it's wet glue on paper, and I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to keep going, and when it's all done, I will come back and show you and go from there. Okay, ooh, it's still tacky, so I have one side done for the most part. I mean, when I do the corners, it's going to cover it. I did take my heat tool to it. Do remember that I said that Mod Podge will bubble when you take your heat tool to it. So if that's not a look that you want, I would suggest, if you want to do something like this, allow yourself the time to do a side, let it dry, do a side, let it dry. I don't have that kind of patience. So what I plan to do is get it covered with book pages tonight. Then I'm going to allow it to dry. And then tomorrow, when I have some help to do water or whatever, maybe I'll take it outside. I want to get a coat of black paint, either black paint or black gesso on it as the base. Then I want to hot glue some stuff to it to give it some texture. And maybe I'll even put a layer of napkin on it and scrunch it up. So I don't know yet. I'm not that far. I've gone through 2 whole things of this already, and obviously I'm not done, but I'm going to keep working on it. And then when it's all done, I probably won't come back until there's something a little bit more significant or a little bit more exciting to do. I am just using the silicone brush that is giving me lines. My inks are running because I use chalk ink or, distress ink, whatever. I don't care. I don't mind that. One thing I did do is this is going to peel up. Also don't care. What will happen is I'm going to let it dry, and I will probably either just grab hold of it and peel it off or sand it or something. I don't care. I really want this to be like it's from 1920. It's old, it's worn, it's been, in Crafty Hall, one of the cabinets that were left behind after the Benders left or something, you know what I mean? So I don't mind the grunge, so I'm embracing it. I love it. This is making me happy. I have been desperate for a mixed media project for quite a while, and so this is like, yes, but I'm still not able to do everything I want to do because of not being able to get around. So anyway, I'm just going to keep going. I just wanted to kind of pop on and show you what that looked like, reiterate the whole blistering of the paint with the Mod Podge, and just remind you that if you're using a different paint, you don't want that look. Please test it on a different piece so you don't ruin something that you may not want to have bubbles in it. I think what I want to do, it's days later, by the way. Hey, you don't need to go in there. It's days later. And so I think what I'm going to try to do, this is like really getting dried up. It's my gilding wax, but in silver. I thought I might use gold, but ow, I'm not going to. Something is sharp right there. Just glue and napkin and whatever. I'm just going to rub this on here. I had put some, glycerin in my gilding wax, and I've like loosened it up for a little bit, but it's like hardened back up again. I don't know why it's doing that. So I was going to hot glue some trim on the edge of this and paint it again, and I may still do that. I feel like that is just, so you can see what it's doing. That's probably really loud in the video, so I'm just going to do the rest of the box in the gold, or the, excuse me, in the silver. And I think I might actually come back to it with maybe some other color. Oh, maybe I'll add some of that copper, or maybe I'll add some gold. Maybe I'll do all of them because it's kind of old. It's been sitting there a while, you know, it's gotten all messy from the Crafty haul case being so old, and go from there. I don't know. I don't think I said, I don't know, because it's been a while since I worked on this. I had gone over this with just my black apple barrel paint and just a makeup spatula. So I had gone over that. Before I did that, though, I had just scrunched up some white napkins and glued. I really wanted a lot of texture on it. Hopefully you can see that texture coming through. So that is just the layers of white layers of napkins that I always tell you guys not to get rid of. If that's redundant from the previous segment, I apologize. I didn't watch it. I'm just trying to work on the box. So I'm just going to continue with the silver, come back and maybe add some other colors, decide if I want to glue trim on here. And if I do, I'll have to put a layer of paint over that. But if I decide to do that, I'll come back. I've gone around the whole thing and I used the silver and gold. I used the copper, and then I came back and used this green, which I had used that a while ago in one of the videos for the ephemera. I'm just going to give it a little bit of color. I didn't want to give it a lot of color, but just some color. I hope that's translating in film. I know it's really difficult to see sometimes the nuances of color. When I'm looking in my screen, it looks like mostly what I'm seeing is the silver, but outside of the screen, I can see the nuances of all the colors. So I'm going to hit that with my heat tool and set it. I think I will dig in a bin, but I think I'm just going to look and see what I have in my black trim. Then I wouldn't have to paint the trim, so I can move on. So I will look and see what I have. Then I'll come back and show you what I have found. Now, in some of these places, you can see that the book page is still showing through. The book page is showing through here too. I don't mind that. I feel like that gives it this tattered look, adds to the age, the mystery, the intrigue, just kind of the creepy, like, what is this box? And so that's kind of what I'm after. So I'm happy with it. I'm going to, I know I've got some really pretty black trim. I just hope I have enough to at least go around the sides. I probably won't do the back. I think I just want to come down the sides and only a little bit here on the front. I have to reprint that case file thing. I'm gonna have to print that twice because I need it for day 26, and I think I want this label for the front. I think that would look really nice on there. So I'm gonna have to print that page twice. Hopefully I can use those images of the people in other projects. I'm sure I can, but I don't typically use people a whole lot in projects. I know why I don't, but I won't say that here. Anyway, okay, I'll be back. So I auditioned pretty much every piece of black trim I own, And so this is what I came up with. I liked it. It's heavy and kind of corded. And I don't know, I feel like it almost has more of a masculine feel to it than the lace. I just didn't think the lace was appropriate for this particular project. I have my little dainty hot glue gun on high, and it's stringing everywhere. So I'm just going to start back here and run some glue. I really hope this holds. I don't mess with hot glue much. I actually don't like hot glue very much. I just don't like working with it. And this has tape on it from the store. Oh, that's why. Okay, I should not do that until, ow, it's glued. So I'm going to put that down. And that extra end there that I just frayed doing that, I'm going to leave unglued so I can trim that off. And I need to make sure I'm getting this straight. So I'm going to work my way around the bottom of this box. I need to put another little. Sometimes I wish I had a bigger glue gun, really. Okay, and I'm going to just work in small segments. Apparently I'm going to drip glue everywhere while I'm at it. I'm telling you, I'm such a messy person. So messy when I create. So just running a bead of glue. I want to have enough glue that it holds, but I really don't want it like seeping out of my trim, which I don't think it's going to with this. And that was another thing, like with the lacy bits, is I was afraid that all the glue was going to show through, and I didn't really want to take the time to have to paint it and come back and allow that the drying time. I mean, I have so many hours in this Crafty haul project. It is crazy. All right, so I don't want it over the bottom, and back here I have it a little higher than I wanted, but hopefully it will be okay. It's not perfect, and it's quirky and it's old, so it's bound to have some issues, right? Will that pop off there? Probably would have popped off better if I'd let it cool more. It goobered on me. And yeah, be mindful of the surface that you're working on with a hot glue gun, because they do dribble, they leak. So I'm going to go around the whole thing, and I'll join that in the back somehow. I don't have that worked out. But then I think we'll get our plate made for the front, and I think we'll be able to transfer our tags to our box now permanently, or when we're done, I hope. Yay! I'm so excited. They have a home. Yay, yay, yay. This makes me really, really happy. My friend suggested that I had done a coffin top with hinges on it, which would have been so cool, but I said I don't have the brain power for that today. Ooh, good to know. My little side pull tag thing there is not wanting to sit in there very nicely. So I'm going to have to be careful of that when I'm playing with them. But anyway, well, I'm happy with my box. And as we finish the next couple of days, we have what? 4 days left, I think. That'll fill up this, I believe, and we'll have more room, because I think even the next day what I'm doing is going to be adding more bulk to this, another bulky tag with what I have in mind. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me and for encouraging me, and I will see you guys in the next video, or maybe I'll just continue on this one. I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know yet. Bye. Hi guys, you're still with me here at Jody Lewis Creations. I think I decided to go ahead and put what day are we on? 26 on the end of the box video. So today is going to be really talking about the investigative team is showing up. So I printed the freebies again that I had used in the folio. I printed them to a page to make them smaller. I have Mr. Brundle's notebook again. I have that's him, so I'm not using that one. I have Carl, I have the house, I have the floor plan, and I have Dorothy. And even though I have these in the case file, I want to make sure that this ties in, because they show up now. And so he's got his notes. They're having the seance, right? They're what is today? The group gathered around the small circular table Ernest had placed in the dining room. So they're gathering around. I'm just combobulated because I did the box at the beginning of this, so I'm not starting like I normally would, so apologies. Okay, we have the group with the seance. We have some candles. Today's bit, I just read that to you. We have the round table and we have our background. I am going to formulate a plan. I want to make this kind of like her ID that he carries with him, or that, you know, she's going to have her ID. He's going to have his ID. I guess I could go ahead and do Mr. Brundle again, because then it's part of the case file for this particular day. It's what he has because that's his committee, and he needs to make sure that he's got identifications so that they know that they're trusted members of his crew, I would say. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on these. I don't want the video to be too long. I'm not going to completely replicate this. What I want to do is I'm going to back this on this paper so it's not super thick, and then I'm going to put another piece of paper in here and take it down and staple it. I think I may stitch it to add another sheet because these guys need to be able to be in pockets in his notebook, so like it's his case file book. Ooh, I could put him just on the front if there's room, and then put like his initials on there. Maybe I'll do that, but I'm working my way through it. But I don't want this video to get super long because I'm working on tying this in. Just so you know, when I was going through the rest of the story, I want to say it's days 27 and 28 on the sheets were reversed. So I'm swapping those. If you're following along, you may want to read the story and make sure they're in order. I actually went back to my hard drive and looked to make sure I hadn't numbered them wrong when I was writing the numbers on the days. I don't think I did. They are numbered that way on my hard drive, but I'm choosing to flip those so that way my tags will still be in order with the story. So that's my choice. You do what works for you, but that's what I'm choosing to do. Okay, I will be back when I've figured out how I'm going to bring this all to life. I think I have a plan. You know, it's me, so we might change halfway through. No, I'm just kidding. I have to get done. So, what I have here is, I told you I shrunk these down. I've backed that, so I need to still cut around it. I think I'm just going to staple that in there, and then that's going to be a pocket. If I did it, no, stick with the plan. Stick with the plan. Then Dorothy and Carl's IDs are going to go in there. This is going to flip because it's a page. Then I'm just going to staple the smaller map of Crafty Hall in here, because I think that when Rose and Jeffrey messaged him, then when they sent letters to him, they included the map for him and a picture of the house so he would know. Then just as part of them being on the committee, he carries their IDs, or has their IDs again, so that people know that, yes, they are his people and they're reputable. And I don't know, I kind of like the idea of maybe clipping them in there somehow, or stapling them kind of fun and wonky in there, because that's going to be our bit. I need to score that. But before we get to them, then actually Mr. Brundle goes into town and he has to find the Reverend. The Reverend has to come back with him, because the Reverend does the seance too, because he wants to do a cleansing of the house when as soon as the seance is over. So the Reverend's part of the seance. So I want to make sure that we are showcasing that, you know, he goes into town, the Reverend comes back with him, you know, and then so this is going to be kind of a, but I can't, my struggle is that the back of this is empty, and I've been doing front and backs of these, and I do truly wish I had just done one day per tag and having the backs blank, so that if I do this, it's fine, because what's going to happen, that's going to open. We'll have this, and then I don't remember what tomorrow is, so I guess that will help me determine. Maybe I should just go ahead and do it. I'm gonna hinge it, because this needs to be a two-part, and then we'll have something on the back up here. We'll figure it out. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So these are going to be here. This is going to be here. We have the round table where they're hosting the seance. And I don't know if I'm going to use that round table. No, I'm going to have the seance here. And then we're going to have the investigators, his little doodad here, his little notebook, because I really want that to be part of the tags in case I don't put the case file with this in here. I may keep it separate. So I think that these pieces are going to be important. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to get this put in here, get everything inked. I'm still debating on whether to include that picture of him, but I think I need to because I explained earlier that he looks different because he was wearing a hat and had grown a beard because of the change of season. So I think it's important to include him as well. So I'm going to do that, and then I will hinge these two tags together before I start gluing. Get this, I don't even know if I'm going to actually back this one. I think I'm just going to make that image part of that tag with the Reverend on there, and then the seance image, and then maybe I'll just do a pocket on here at the bottom and tuck Mr. Brundle's stuff in here with the case file and everything. But we need to figure out where to put this. So maybe I'll put that as like a spinny thing. I think I will. I have my pokey tool here. It's pretty sad. I think it's like on its last limb. We'll see. Last leg. Kind of like me. We'll see if it survives what I'm about to do to it. I don't know. I want to pop off 2 staples. Hopefully this will work. You can't see what I'm doing, and I hope I'm in screen. I'm sitting down because it's getting later in the day and I'm getting tired. So hopefully this will work. Where's my pliers? Hello, pliers. Okay. Hopefully my drawer doesn't fall. I didn't want to push it back in because I know it shakes you guys when I do that. Are you gonna? Okay, so there's 1 staple. And then I got to keep track of them too because I don't really want to find one with a foot. Okay, there's 2 staples. We have a normal size staple, but it's downstairs and I don't want to go get it. So I am just going to lay this here and poke a hole and hope this works. Oh, how about not poke a hole in my finger? And then poke another hole. Okay, and then come in from the outside. Oh my gosh, this is way fiddly. And my fingers do not like it. Okay, if I can get one in there. Don't say it out loud, Jody. Do not say it out loud. Tell you guys, I have kind of a weird sense of humor. Actually, I'm a big smarty pants, and I say things that I shouldn't say a lot. Maybe if I poke from this side, so I'd make that a little bigger. I don't want it too big, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm just measuring, kind of, maybe. And there we go. Whoa, good thing I decided to only do 2 of these, cheese and rice. So now that I've done that, I probably should have poked both sets of holes first. So if that's something that you're gonna do, I suggest doing both sets of holes, poking both sets of holes, because I don't know how well I'm going to be able to see to do this. Why do I always do things the hard way? I could have just gone downstairs, used the stapler, and come back upstairs. But that's a lot of work too, so here we go. So I'm just going to keep fussing with this, and I'll do both of these. I might still be here in an hour trying to do this. Oh my gosh. Well, if I can get one in and I can push it down and hopefully hold it in place, then maybe it'll hold and we can do it. Oh my gosh, is this gonna be another one of those epic fail things that, you know, teaching you guys what not to do? Oh, it's in. It's in. Okay. Stay there. Okay, I'm all excited. I gotta get this one in, but I don't want that one to, okay, just think. What if I just don't bend it all the way? Oh, I think I've done this before. I think I don't like doing this. Well, for now, that's fine. And then we'll get this one in. Maybe this is not something I'll do again. I feel like I've tried to do this before because I saw somebody else do it and I thought, oh, well, that's a neat idea. And then you don't need the long arm stapler, right? For like a bigger project. And I remember now how very much I did not like doing this. So don't do it. Go get your stapler. Don't be a Jody. Go get your stapler. And I should just, but I wanted to be able to finish the piece. I didn't want to have to go downstairs and come back upstairs because sometimes that effort just is not worth it right now. So, all right, I'm going to get this one pushed down. If I can just get it on there. Get down there. Behave. There we go. Okay. Woo, that was a lot of work. Okay, but now I can make the determination if I want to glue that together or not. So when I do the next one, I'm going to poke the holes a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah, and then hopefully it'll work better. Hopefully it won't be so hard to get through, and then if I don't move it, maybe I can get it through both layers at once and not have such a hard time. A girl can dream, right? Okay, so let's see. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, I don't really know, look at that. That was way easier that time. Yay. Perseverance, people, perseverance. I hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, I don't know what I've said at the beginning or end of this video because I've got the box video included in this one. So it's probably kind of a mess for you to watch, and I apologize, but I couldn't figure out where I wanted to put the box into the series because I know you guys were wanting to see it, and I didn't know if you wanted to see like how I was constructing it or not, or how I was revamping it. So, oh, that's gonna be such a cute little notebook. So cute. Oh, I said it. I know, I said it. Okay, so I've got my little doodad swingy thing, and we have a little candle on there, and we're gonna have the seance. But I feel like I want to kind of put them up there, so then you're like, well, what's at the table? Oh, and then I was going to put like a pocket here where the table's kind of like this, that this is going to tuck into. Because then when you pull this out, you'll have to swing that. Okay, so whatever day this is, what day is this? I think it's time for me to get out of my craft room. Oh my gosh, day 26 is done. I think it's 26. I don't know, I threw my note away. Anyway, so we have here the village, and you know, Mr. Brundle had gone into town to get the Reverend. So the Reverend is here. He's coming, you know, he's leaving the church and he's in town. So he's just leaving and he's coming through the front gates at Crafty Hall. There we go. Goodness, spit that out, Jody. And then in here, we have the group gathered around the small circular table Ernest had placed in the dining room. So when that opens, it shows the seance. And in the portion of the story that goes with today, the committee shows up. So we've got Ernest, we've got Dorothy Blakely, we have Carl Edwards, and then I stapled, you know, the house and the map there together, and left a little room for notes here because, you know, maybe something will happen and we need a note. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, and I put this on purpose where it's like poking out because this is well worn and loved and, you know, and all of that. So that goes in that pocket. Oops, slide that back down. And then that will be today's bit of the story. So stay tuned for tomorrow. What is tomorrow? I don't even know. I don't even know where I have it. So I've got to clean out my bin. I'm kind of looking forward to being done with this so I can clean all this bits up, but I'm just having so much fun with it. Oh, okay. So this is where, yeah, this is what I was saying earlier, that I had these 2 days. So 27, as it's numbered in the kit, actually comes after the day 28 that's numbered in the kit. And I know that because I was reading the story and I was like, wait a minute, because I was trying to make notes like as I was going through the ephemera bits and stuff, and just to make sure where I was in the story. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, back up. That's not. So I'm sure that's just a numbering error and super easy to fix if you're following the story. Just make sure you read ahead before you start gluing or doing anything like that. Because if I had done that, you know, this is day 25. So this is day 26. So if I had gone with what day 27 was numbered, then this would be out of order with this page. So I'm glad that I caught that today. And that has been very, very helpful with reading the story as I've gone along. And also with having to print bits, it's really helpful just to kind of go through, you know, if you're just starting out or whatever, go through. If you don't want to print the whole kit at one time, completely understand that. It is a lot to print, and it really took me a long time to print it. But for me, I'm very glad that I did go ahead and print the whole kit, because then as I'm going through the story and something speaks to me, I can go through those ephemera pages, you know, like with the furniture or whatever. And the ephemera page numbers do not necessarily, well, they do not correspond with the day page numbers. So I can't write, it's like day 1, day 2, whatever it's called, and then ephemera 1, 2, all the way through 30 or whatever. Those ephemera pages are separate from the base pages of the days. I hope that makes sense. So if you read the story and go through the ephemera pages, you'll see that there's stuff in all of the pages that can pertain. So do take the time, I would suggest, to do that. And then like I was doing in the edges here for these last few days, I just took a pencil knowing that I'm cutting this white off because I shrink this. Then like you can kind of see the pencil there. I was making some notes in the margin there, like, okay, this is where this day ends. This is where this day ends. And then let's maybe use, you know, I had made a note on this, like early settlement picture, you know, and stuff like that. So I hope that that makes sense the way I'm saying that. But I found it to be very helpful to make notes as I was reading the story and looking at the ephemera bits. So thank you for joining me. I really hope this video is not super chaotic with having the box building in it, because I have been working on that box for quite a few days, as you guys know if you have been following me, and I had to get it finished because my little fabric basket was not doing the trick anymore, and nothing else was going to fit, and it was just getting out of hand. But I love this so very, very much, and I'm really glad that I didn't put a whole lot of extra stuff off the edges. And this, like I said, that one little tab, but as we finish, that will be pushed more toward the front. It'll be fine. But I love it. I love my box. I love the bits. I love being able to see everything. So how are you storing your bits in the story? And know that some people have made journals. Some people are just making ephemera, maybe for a Halloween journal, where, as you guys know, my tags are telling the actual story. So I'm just curious to know how you guys are storing your bits or what you're doing. Yeah, so let me know, and I will see you in the next video. We are almost done. I cannot believe it. I've just been having such a wonderful time with this story. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I will ask that you like, subscribe, comment, share. Go back and watch some of the older playlists, the older videos, because as we come out of Creep on June, I will not have videos every single day. So in the meantime, when you're waiting on me to upload, you can go watch some of those older videos. It will entertain you and it will help me out. Have a wonderful day. Bye.